Soul contract removal for media systems. Shine your love lights. This is a contract removal for media systems. I call to all spiritual contracts that exist within my past, present, and future beings, selves, and existences in this dimension and time stream, and in all time streams above and below the earth-centric sine wave of coexistence. At this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creating moment, I summon all DNA lineage ancestors to create a unified proper spiritual court of equity, so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have been inserted fine print during the pre-birth and birth process. I call for the proper spiritual court of equity to hear my decree of contract removal. I revoke all spiritual contracts with earth-based media systems using domination and control as a means of energy harvesting, fear instigation, or reality manipulation with the energetic propaganda technologies. I call forth all ancestors of soul relations to hold space in this spiritual court of equity. I call to Earth Mother and all her light denizens within all her inner and outer space to come forward and occupy the spiritual court of equity. O great mystery, who is the source of all power? I call to you to come with your sacred synchronicity so that all beings may hold space with unity consciousness. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with media personalities that do not have full use of free will and full knowledge of our DNA ancestry. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all media agencies, corporations, and media-based family crests. I hereby revoke all spiritual contract assumptions, presumptions, and statistical models that predict my habits, patterns for the use of commercial advertising intertwined with the system of domination and control. I do not consent to the etheric grid broadcasting over public airwaves, television, internet, radio, or any other means or methods that propagate propaganda for mass consumption. I do not consent to the predictive modeling by the etheric or commercial means. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all media-based sacred geometry buildings. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the sacred geometry presidents, shareholders, news anchors, news reporters, pundits, and talking heads, and all representatives of government officials within the entire global media network. You have no power over me with your presumptions of knowledge. We are manifesting co-creating spirits. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all news regurgitating systems, crawlers, websites, search engines, print media, and all forms of propaganda used with these systems. I revoke all tacit consent and all presumptions of consent with all media agencies. I revoke all assumptions with all advertising agencies that are funded by the system of domination and control. I do not consent with any advertising systems targeting soul groups, soul migrations, or the spiritual incarnation process. I revoke spiritual contracts that limit genetic free-willed expressions of all sentient kind. I revoke all spiritual contracts that define media as our tellers of our oral traditions or generational teachers. I revoke all contracts with the sacred geometry satellite broadcasting system. I revoke all contracts with the etheric artificial intelligences that use sacred geometry satellite systems used as a means to hijack my information stream. I do not consent to psychic monitoring or influencing from any media system that services the system of domination and control. I hereby demand the instant removal of all broadcast-based psychic parasites and their propagations and harvesting system that creates herds of psychic parasites. I revoke all contracts that use my life force as false form of consent for the propagation and spreading of psychic parasites with all my DNA soul relations. I hereby revoke all contracts that grant the media power to last beyond one generation of history, and I demand all rights of generational knowledge to be returned to the soul family structure. I demand the return of our history in a complete and transparent manner, so there should no longer be secrets from our people. I hereby revoke all rights, duties, responsibilities, and current actions of all media personalities. Your services are no longer required. I revoke all privileges that granted the media families any power over my soul contracts, soul family, and our soul-based migration patterns. I revoke all rights to any media system based in domination and control from ever returning within my soul family structure of all past, present, and future lives. I hereby demand an instant cessation and removal of all false information from all media. I hereby demand that any and all future distribution of information over all forms of media absolutely embodies truth, integrity, and transparency in perpetuity. I hereby declare that the Earth Mother is now in domination with me for all local and mass media information exchange systems. I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the Earth Akashic Record for all sentient kind to understand our free will comes with the use of free will at all times. From the Galactic Historian website. Please look to the upcoming playlist that I'll have of revocations and declarations for the complete severance of any strongholds that you feel you might have, and you can use it for continued or occasional maintenance. And remember that cunning, scheming, nefarious malevolence, they do not sleep, they do not give us time out, they don't take vacation. They will use any opportunity and loophole, specifically tacit consent, to regain their strongholds. If you feel it works to remove all fears, please be persistent and consistent with filling your whole life with love and light and joy and laughter and blissful notions so that there is no room in your life for fear. And if you found this information useful, or perhaps if you resonate with it in any way, believe it will be used, or if you believe it will be useful to you one day, if not today, please feel free to like and subscribe. I would love to hear if you have any questions or comments about any part of the content. Please comment. I'd be happy and honored to reply. Thanks, and I hope this lightens your day and makes your soul feel lighter as well.